Everybody, Pierre Cohen here, and I teach leaders like you how to courageously begin the journey to personal and professional transformation. And in this video, we're going to talk about why you haven't missed the season to be a good leader. So let's go. I was standing in the driveway this morning and I watched a few leaves fall from the tree and hit the ground. And I was a little sad. I was sad for the same reason that many of you might be sad. I feel like in so many ways, 2020 has been a major disruption. Now, I know in some industries, in some spaces, for some businesses, things are going extremely well, but there are also people who are still wrestling, trying to figure out how they're going to make it until the end of the year. And part of that has to do with the way that we view the cycle of the seasons. When you look at the mainstream, so many of us see springtime as a time for newness, as a time for innovation, as a time for creativity, as a time for planting. We see summertime as a time for nurturing what we've planted. We see the fall as a time for harvesting the things that we've placed in the ground. And we see winter as a time to live off the things that we've harvested. And it appears that leadership has the same cycle. We have the springtime of our leadership where everything is new and fresh and innovative and creative. We're celebrating the energy of the beginning. Then there's the summertime of our leadership where things are moving extremely well and we're nurturing the things that we have started, the things that we planted in the ground. There's the fall time of our leadership where we're starting to harvest, where we're starting to reap the benefits of all the things that we've planted. And then there are the winter seasons of leadership when we're living off what we stored up from the harvest. But as I watched those leaves fall to the ground today, I wrestled with the fact that so many of us have planted things that never sprung out of the ground. We've planted things that have not grown, or we've planted things that have been devastated by the winds of change, or we've planted things that have come to full bloom, but it isn't really what we wanted. We've planted so much fear, we've planted so much anxiety, we've planted so much uncertainty, and now we're dealing with the full bloom of those things and wondering how we're going to make it as a leader. It feels like we missed the prime planting season. We missed the time period for creativity, for innovation. We've missed the newness of beginnings. And now we're wrestling with how we're going to be able to harvest anything. After watching those leaves fall to the ground, I went back into the house, hopped on the search engine, and I was looking for what you could plant in the fall and still harvest in the fall, to see that there were so many things that you could plant right now. So many things that in 4 weeks, that in 6 weeks, that in 8 weeks, if you put them into the ground, you'll be able to harvest them during the fall season. Our leadership is the same way. As a leader, there are things that you can plant right now that you'll be able to reap the benefits of in a short period of time. You could still plant good conversation. You could still plant a listening ear. You could still plant quality feedback. You could still plant good affirmation and celebration of the people on your team. If you plant that right now, if you throw those seeds into the ground, in 4 weeks, in 6 weeks, in 8 weeks, you'll be able to see the impact that that has on your team, even if you've missed what you consider to be a prime planting season. It was also interesting to note that as I was looking on different gardening websites, there were several posts that said that this is the prime planting season for certain things. There are some things that you put in the ground right now, some things you put in the ground during the fall season that are in the ground during the winter months, and they are ready for you to enjoy when the spring breaks. Now, no, we're not quite in fall yet. We got about 30 days as I'm recording this video before the fall season, but we're so close as the leaves are starting to fall to the ground. And I got to ask you, what are the things that you're going to plant right now that maybe you don't get the quick return? Maybe you don't see a difference in 4 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 weeks, but throughout the fall and the winter season, as it continues to grow, you'll be ready to celebrate when springtime comes. What's the new skill that you can plant right now? What's the new tactic that you can plant right now? What's the new strategy that you can plant right now? What studying can you do right now so that after the fall season, so that after the winter comes, so that when the weather breaks once again, you can be prepared to reap the benefits of the work that you put in. I know this year has been crazy and it seems like we've missed so many opportunities, but there are still tremendous amounts of opportunities to be embraced. You can plant some things right now that'll give you a quick return. And what are those things? And you can plant some things right now that in the days to come, in the seasons to come, will be a great benefit to you and your team. So I'd love to hear in the comments below, what can you plant right now that will give you a quick return on your leadership efforts? And what can you plant right now that won't give you a quick return, but when the time is right and when the seasons change, it'll be ready for you to use?